Good morning, students. How are you? I hope that you and your family members are safe and healthy. First of all, I would like to welcome you to all our GV Higher Secondary School, Maslapalayam. Secondly, I gratitude to our Honorable Correspondent Sir, our Honorable President Sir, our Honorable Secretary Sir, our Honorable Director Sir, and our Honorable Headmaster Sir to give this golden opportunity to me. Really, I have an immense pleasure to meet you via this class. Before going to see the topic, I am going to introduce myself. My name is P. Nachimuthu, MA B.Ed in English. I have been working here since 2014, nearly 7 years. Now, I am going to give you a small lecture about language and literature. So first, what is language? Language is means of communication. So what purpose we are using a language means language only for mainly communication. It is purely communication purpose we are using language. If we want to go anywhere out of our state or any other country means we need language. Especially we need second language means English. It is a global language, it is a universal language. So wherever we go, this language supports us. If you want to go anywhere, so which language helpful to us means this second language, that's a universal language, this is a global language, English language. So that language we are going to discuss today. So language is a means of communication. So language uses sounds, words, gestures, grammar, etc. So if we want to learn one language means first we capture or first we listen sounds. Sounds are very important. Without knowing sounds, we can't pronounce or we can't speak any language. So first important role, which means sounds. Then letters and words. So you know very well about language, because when you join LKG or UKG or first standard, how they start the class means by using letters. The lower level, first standard or LKG, the teacher must teach you a letter, especially the alphabet. So alphabet means ABCD, that letters. Then if you go next level means another class. If you study first standard, then next class means second standard. There they are teaching you how to form a words with the help of letters, how to form a word. So words also very important in learning a language. Next, justice. So justice is it's one of the important role. Suppose we are going anywhere means some other place. In that particular place, that people, what they are talking, we don't know about their language. In that particular situation, which is helpful to us means only the gestures. So gestures also very important role in language. Next, grammar. If you want to learn one language means grammar also very essential. It is one of the main part, because we want to differentiate anything, present, past, future. So these type of things we have to differentiate means, so which is helpful to us means grammar. So whatever language, not only English, so whatever it is, any other language, so which is important to us means grammar. So without knowing grammar, we can't speak properly. We can manage the language, but if you want to explain, if you want to talk purely means which is important to us means grammar is very very important. So grammar is the one of the main part in language. Only humans are blessed with the speech. So language means, so especially the God created only for the human beings. Other things means animals, they don't have language. They are making some sounds, that's all. That sound doesn't have any language. So only human beings are blessed with the speech. Then this word, this language word, derived from Latin lingua, which means language or tongue. In this language there are four basic skills involved. So what are they means? LSRW. L means listening, S speaking or reading, and W means writing. These are the LSRW. These are the four basic skills of language. So listening is the main role to learn a language. Listening, wherever we go we have to listen. If you learn language, if you want to learn any subject, or if you want to note any instance, so whatever it is, so which is main thing means listening. Then speaking. So if you learn anything means you have to speak. It is right or wrong, we don't want to bother about that. We have to speak. Some blunders will come, we don't want to bother about that, but we have to speak. Then reading. If you learn everything, words, letters, or whatever it is, you learn everything means you have to read, and then you have to write. So these are the main important role in basic skills in language. LSRW skills. L means listening, R means reading, S means speaking, W means writing. These are the four basic skills of language. Then what is literature? Literature refers to the body of work either written, oral or visual. But literature, where it giving main role means only in the written form. How we are knowing or how we are reading our ancestor literature means by the written format. So literature means written format is very 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 essential. And oral or visual. So oral means it's a whatever, somebody saying stories or somebody saying something, that is the oral. And visual also some pictures. Pictures means not at present pictures, the olden days pictures. So by help of these things only we can learn literature. So it uses intellectual thoughts, imagination and creativity. So literature gives intellectual thoughts. If you study any Ramayana or Mahabharata or any other epic or any other things, see we get an intellectual thoughts and ideas. When we learn these kinds of books, we also imagine that situation. And creativity also growing us. So creativity is very very important thing in our life, especially school students. Creativity is very very essential, because that only our education system also is their creativity. So literature has intellectual thoughts, imagination and creativity. This word derived from Latin litera, which means letter. Literature means letter. So letter means what? It is a source of our ancient days. For four basic literary forms are poetry, drama, fiction, and non-fiction. So there are four basic literary forms are there in literature. So what are they means? First one is poetry. Poetry is the important role in literature compared to other things. So what is poetry, sir? Poetry is full of imagination. It belongs to only the poet mind and their intellectual thoughts. This type of poetry can't write usual human beings. The person, those who all have supernatural or uh, unnatural qualities, they can only write these kind of poems and poetry. So poetry is a eminent role, important role in literature. Next, drama. So drama also very important thing, but compared to poetry, which is the predominant role, means only the poetry, not drama. But drama also has a human beings life and their feelings, emotions, everything has in drama, because drama has everything is there. Tragedy is there, comedy is there, romance is there, history is there. So everything, what are the feelings, emotions has in human, so everything there in drama. So because of that, drama also has an important role in literature. Next, fiction. Fiction means novel. So novel means we can't learn or we can't study easily. It will take some time. Nearly it will take 15 days, 1 month, 2 months, sometimes 3 months also will take, because this fiction has a lot of characters, but it has a main theme. At the same time, it has some creativity. Really, fiction has some creativity. We also can imagine that situations. So because of that, fiction also has an important role in literature. Then non-fiction. So non-fiction means like a short story. So this also very important uh, part in literature. Then now we are going to see language is a passport to employment. So what is the meaning of this? Language is a passport to employment. Already beginning of the lecture itself I told you, if you want to go abroad, abroad means what? For employment purpose. So there it means this language support you as a passport. If you want to go abroad, this language, English language, is very essential, because if you go there, that native people language you can't speak. In that particular situation, which language is help and which language support you means only the English language. Because of that, we are saying English is a universal language, global language, and it acts as a second language for us. So because of that, I'm saying English is the passport to employment. So English is the global language. It is a window on the world. If we have one house, means that house needs some windows. So likewise, this language also window on the world. So language of science and technology, computers, internet, tourism, this also a language. Language means not only English. So science also one of the language, technology also the language, computers also the language. It has many languages. internet, tourism, everything has some languages. But in all these field, which is the prominent role means only English. Then language of media and industry, journals and newspapers. So wherever using this language means media, industry, journals and newspapers. So wherever you go, which is important for us means language. Especially here we are speaking about English language. It is a language of library and literature. This English language is the library, language of library and literature. This English language also has a literature. It has some history, when it started, where it came from. So everything is there. The whole history is there. It is a passport to employment. So if you want to go anywhere, so which is passport to you means only the language. So because of that, I'm saying it is a global language. It is the global, which is the global language. English is the global language. Literature is a mirror of life. So mirror of life, it is reflecting our life. Which is reflecting our life? Literature is reflecting our life. If you take literature means it has poetry, it has drama, it has fiction. Is everything reflecting only human beings' life? What are all the happenings? What are all the things happening around us? That situations only has this type of literature. This type of literature means poetry, drama, fiction. So all these writings has only human beings happenings. Studying literature is like looking at the mirror of life where man's experience, his innermost feelings and thoughts are reflected. So, studying literature is like looking at the mirror of life. If one studying literature means he is seeing mirror of life, his life itself he is seeing. He is seeing his life through the literature. Where man's experience, his innermost feeling and thoughts are reflected through only a literature. What are the feelings we have, emotions we have, everything. What are the feelings, emotions, everything shows only the literature. Literature gives us pleasure, it relieves stress. So main purpose, it's the main prominent role of literature means giving pleasure to the human beings. Literature gives us pleasure. If you learn literature, if you study literature, really promise, I'm promising, really it gives us pleasure. At the same time, it relieves our stress. What all the stress are there in our heart, everything will relieve when you study literature. That much of power, that much of capacity, that much of quality is there. If you study literature means you have to enjoy and study. Without pleasure, without enjoyment, you learn or you study literature means there is no use at all. You have to involve in that particular situations. You also one among the character in that, then only the literature will give you a pleasure. Then it teaches values, culture, morals, history, past and present. This literature teaches values. Values means good qualities. What are the qualities are there for us? What are the values there for us? This life. If you take one life means this life have how much value? One person, one job, one place. So everything shows only literature. This literature only teaches. Then culture. So we don't know about our ancient days culture. So at present, many of the things it's hidden. So in that particular situations, where we learn, where we study all these things means through the literature. This literature reflects our culture and morals, good qualities. We can learn. So many short stories are there, many poems are there, many fictions, dramas also is there with good qualities. So because of that, we have to study literature. Then history. Already told you. If you take on drama, the drama has tragedy, comedy, romance, and history. So if you study drama means you can learn everything, not only history, for all the things. We can learn past. We can learn what about happening at present. Everything we learn from literature. Boost up your imagination, appreciation of nature around us. This literature boost up you. How if you drink Horlicks or Boost means it gives some energy to you. Likewise, this literature also give your boost up your imagination. It creates something in your mind, an appreciation of nature and beauty. If you learn, if you study poetry means you can appreciate nature and beauty, because most of the writers writes about nature and its beauty, because nature only permanent. We are mortals, but nature is not like that, it is immortal thing. So if you study literature, you can appreciate nature and beauty, what all the things around us. Then it improves your vocabulary. It improves your vocabulary, reading, and writing skills. This literature improves your vocabulary. If you study any books, it gives many vocabularies. Vocabularies is many words, many new words, many literary words, many scientific words. So many vocabulary we can learn and improve ourselves. And it improves your reading capacity. Nowadays, many students, many persons not have this quality, this skill, because when it came WhatsApp and some other technological methods, many of the persons uh, forget to read. So when you learn literature, when you study literature, it improves your reading capacity, and simultaneously it improves your writing skills. Now we are going to see about literature versus language. Literature and language are interlinked. Interlinked means we can't separate. So literature and language always have a unique quality. It interrelated each other. Language is the fundamental unit of it. If literature is a building, language is a brick. If we take literature is a building means, so which is the main thing for it means language. If literature is a goal, language is a road. If we take literature is a goal, so which is a road for us means language. So that much of interlinked quality is there, both literature and language. Language is the method of expression, whereas literature is the collection of such expressions. Language is a method of expression, it has some modes, but literature is the collection of such expressions. All the collections, especially human beings, feelings and emotions, everything related with literature. Language is used to express our feelings, thoughts according to situations. Literature talks about life experience, beauty of nature, problems of the world. Language is used to express our feelings, thoughts according to the situation, that's all. But literature is not like that. Literature talks about life experiences. after all the experience we gathered in our life, and beauty of nature, problems of the world. World means human beings. And language of literature often looks simple, but it is packed with meaning. Language of literature, it looks simple, but if you study that, it packed with a lot of meanings. It has tremendous meanings. So literary language uses figurative language. Stylistic literary devices. Handwritten language uses the formal standard syntax, vocabulary, grammar. If you take literary language, it has a figurative language. It is the stylistic literary device. It has some stylish literary devices. Literary devices means it has some poetic devices. You take a simile, metaphor, personification, oxymoron, like that. And literary devices means it has some rules and regulations. If you take ordinary language, it means it uses the formal standard syntax, word formation, vocabulary, familiar vocabulary, and grammar. What are the rules and regulations of a language? These are the things that in language and literature. Now I am going to conclude my lecture. Today we saw about language and literature. This is only for introduction. This is not an examination point of view. This is an additional information about language. That's all. Next class, I'm going to meet you some other topic. Thank you, students.